Pocket issue: pandemics. Born from a frustration with the often shallow nature of today's rolling news, Pocket Issue's pithy primers pull together the background to some of the biggest challenges facing our world. Designed for our time-pressed lives, these short audio handbooks quickly brief you with enough facts to join the debate in the time it takes to drive 100 miles, assuming you don't speed. We have no political agenda. Our only ambition is to bring you up to speed on the big global issues, giving you the confidence to hold forth at the dinner table or the water cooler.
1 Minute Guide. The issues in the blink of an eye.
Need to get the facts quickly and it's all so complicated? Get a quick fix with our 1 minute guide to pandemics.
One Minute Guide.
Swans dying of bird flu in Dorset. MRSA deaths rocketing. Headlines full of pandemic fears. But is an outbreak really likely? Pocket Issue makes a diagnosis.
Is a pandemic a real possibility?
Pandemics, the rapid global spread of highly infectious and dangerous diseases, are going on right now. Developing countries continually battle against malaria, tuberculosis, TB, and HIV/AIDS. Health systems are underfunded and overstretched, although often supported by non-governmental organisations, NGOs, non-profit-making setups like Oxfam and Médecins Sans Frontières.
That's dreadful, but actually I meant a bird flu pandemic.
Oh, you mean a pandemic that affects you. Birds infected with H5N1, the deadly strain of avian flu, the correct term for bird flu, have been found in the UK. 3 swans were found dead in Dorset in January 2008, and periodically poultry that may have been in contact with an infected bird have been slaughtered as a precautionary measure. However, in the UK, there are no human deaths to date. The UK government's verdict is that a bird flu pandemic affecting humans is low risk, but would be high impact if it occurred. The World Health Organization, WHO, considers the current risk of pandemic influenza to be serious.
What has to happen to trigger a human bird flu pandemic?
At the moment, humans have to catch avian flu from direct contact with infected birds. If the virus mutated to allow human-to-human transmission, it could spread much more widely.
Is there any treatment if it does hit?
Tamiflu, an antiviral drug, is both a preventative medicine and a treatment for humans once bird flu is acquired. No one is certain that it would be effective if the virus mutates to allow human-to-human transmission. One science journal wrote that washing your hands regularly and wearing a face mask is at least as effective as Tamiflu in preventing the spread of bird flu.
What are the chances of an MRSA pandemic?
Cases of MRSA, an antibiotic-resistant superbug, are still rising dramatically. A drop in hospital hygiene, hospital overcrowding, and the overuse of antibiotics are to blame. Preying on the vulnerable, MRSA makes hospitals a particularly dangerous place for the sick. Ironic.
Can it be treated?
Yes, but not that easily. A new antibiotic seems to be working.
What can the past tell us about pandemics?
That pandemics come and go. They always have. Think the Black Death in the Middle Ages, or Spanish flu, 1918 to 19, and they always will. But in the past 100 years, 3 pandemics affecting the developed world have been avian flu-based, which is why bird flu is considered a threat. Apart from the 1918-19 pandemic, however, mortality rates were relatively low.
Are there any other diseases tipped to be future pandemics?
A future pandemic could be caused by a re-emergence of SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome, a severe type of pneumonia seen in Asia in 2003. Pandemics are hard to predict with real accuracy, and attempts at containment through isolation of infected cases, coupled with the most appropriate medical treatment to hand, ranging from drugs to vaccines, seem to be the best defences.
What would happen to the developed world in the event of a human bird flu pandemic?
Emergency pandemic plans would swing into action. Restrictions could be placed on movement and curfews introduced. Drugs and treatment would be rationed, since resources are finite. Not everyone could be saved. At worst, there could be 1 million new cases a day in the UK.